they get that bread. You put the you end up dead. Them West Coast, they leave that spread. And now you got calling your dread head.
If God for me, who could be against me? I guess all the that's against me. They the ones stirring up the conflict. They try to make it out like I'm conflicted.
Still trying to the riches.
East Coast, the 6'4's hitting switch. It's not a conflict of interest.
Cut it with the business. West Coast rocking them Timberlands, deep up in them trenches. It's no difference. Fourth and inches. I'm finna hit.
There's a look at one of the most iconic sports venues in the lower 48. Built back in 1957 under the title of City Stadium. We are at Lambeau Field in Green Bay, Wisconsin. Today, it's week 4, and we've got what should be a great one here between the New England Patriots and the Green Bay Packers. Versus 0-3. Will current form hold? We'll find out as we're off in week 4. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. First play and a first throw for Rodgers. That's taken in by Watson. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Shotgun now for Rodgers. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Adrian Phillips. And the Pats are going to get the football here at their own 40-yard line.
I really don't think you can fault the decision-making here because your offensive quarterback, they really had a big week last week, and you're ready for them to go again here. Not the anticipated result, of course, but you definitely understand why they did what they did. That quarterback's been hot. You want to keep the ball in his hands and see if he can keep the magic going.
Throwing Jones. Slant route, and he finds Thornton. So just 3 yards on the completion there. And it'll be 2nd down. Those defense for the Packers, they were terrific a week ago in that victory over Tampa Bay, Charles.
And no matter what's done throughout a ball game, it always comes back to blocking and tackling. That's the essence of football. But I think it's hard for people to understand just how difficult it is to tackle, especially open field. Very few missed tackles on tape that I saw last game. This team does a nice job of getting their opponents on the ground.
First carry now for Pierre Strong. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Now Jones. Open man is Kendrick Bourne. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. That good for 19 yards as they pick up the conversion on 3rd. After getting that turnover on the first drive of the game, you'd hate to just stall out the momentum, go 3 and out. They're able to avoid that there.
Yeah, we talk about complementary football all the time, but I think it's a little bit deeper than that. Defense went out, forced a turnover, gave the ball to the offense. It's now the offense's responsibility to pay that off for them, to show respect to them. Hey, you guys got us a turnover. We appreciate it. They want to continue their drive.
Complete. Smith has it. And he is going to lose yardage here. The completion, but they go in the wrong direction. A loss of yards, and now they're dealing with a 2nd and long. A little risky there when you roll out of that pocket right like he did. You complete the pass, but you don't get anything out of it.
But how many times have we seen when a quarterback exits out of the pocket, doesn't matter whether they go left or right, the defense loses its leverage, right? There's a little chaos back there, and receivers come open. Great discipline on that play. They didn't let that happen and held it to no gain.
They're able to push forward for about 4 down to the 37. To throw on 3rd down, Jones. And that's knocked away and incomplete.
Receiver coaches preach to their guys all the time. Separation, that's what's going to make the play successful. That time there was very little, and I think they were actually fortunate that it was only knocked away and not intercepted.
And he's going to miss this one. That is no good. Well outside the left upright, and this will remain a scoreless game.
Now, if this was a clear day in September, I'd say this is well within his range. I'd feel very confident about this kick, but let's be honest about it. In these elements, the difficulty level gets ratcheted up by at least a factor of 5.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. Now, they were intercepted the first time they had the football, but now they get it back, and it's still 0-0.
And because of that, you know what the thought process is? Interception. What interception? It didn't really happen because they gave up no points. So go back on the attack. Go back and run the offense you believe will be successful. Find your playmakers and give them the football.
The last run got 6. Now 2nd and 4. Again, it's Jones. And good penetration here. He'll get this down only to about the 49-yard line. Just a gain of a yard there, and now it'll be 3rd down.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
An extra corner comes on now for the Patriots D on 3rd down. Now Rodgers. They're going for Lazard, but this is intercepted. It's Kyler Duggar who picks it. And the Patriots are going to get the football here at their own 40-yard line. Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 at the 40. Here's Strong to begin the drive. And they'll get to him after a gain of 7 to the 47. The success there, Charles, coming on the outside of the field, the ground game. Curious to see if that continues as we progress.
Yeah, we often talk about a variety in play calling and usually between run and pass. But in this case, with strictly the run game, you can be creative there as well. Run it inside, run it outside, keep the defense off balance.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Off play action. Jones. He's going to air one out. And all the way in. Touchdown, New England. A nice throw there by the 2nd-year quarterback.
And I don't believe that was the kind of play he would have made as a rookie. Because usually your rookie season is a continuation of your college days. A lot of one read, and if you don't have it, you just take off and go. Now he's settled in the pocket a little bit more, reading the field and getting to his 2nd and sometimes 3rd progression. That was a nice play.
The point after through the raindrops, up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. About set to get this drive started. The Green Bay offense at the line. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively, obviously. 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit like, hey, didn't we practice in that color jersey all week, not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Rodgers now to throw. This one swung out here to Jones. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down.
And I like the idea here. Get the ball in his hands, even if it's in the passing game. 3 catches a week ago, and he does a nice job here to pick up yardage.
So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the 1st down. Rodgers to throw on 3rd and 1. He finds Watson complete. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. Defense was thinking run, and they're dealt a pass of just under 20 yards.
That's a play that will likely be forgotten when you talk about big moments in this game. But plays like this are critical to keep drives going. And if points result, we'll call this play significant.
So into Pat's territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 47. Rodgers with a give. It's Aaron Jones. And he's got this down to the 35. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
He's going to fire one deep left sideline. And this is caught. And all the way to the 2-yard line there before crossing over out of bounds. 33 yards that time.
That's a great job of working the sideline right there. I love how he tracked the football the whole way. Just reached up and pulled it in. Had excellent field presence to understand where he was in order to make that play happen.
They'll come out in the pistol. Now Jones. And he is going to lose yardage here. So they're backed up to the 3-yard line, 2nd and goal.
Brings up 2nd and goal at the Patriots 3-yard line.
Touchdown! Christian Watson, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Packers are an extra point away from evening this one up. Point after by Lambeau, up and good. And we are tied at 7. So they'll go ahead and accept the penalty. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. It's a squib kick that still makes its way down inside the 15. And he'll be out of bounds here just past the 20-yard line.
Patriots take over 1st and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
Try to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. They'll start on the ground with Strong. These 2 teams all tied after 1.
With the score tied 7-7.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. first carry for Damian Harris, the Alabama man. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
It looks like the Packers have added an extra DB on third down. Back to throw. Jones. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Quay Walker, and his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line. CD, I know it's just his second year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, second year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
Now a first down carry by Jones. And he's going to get this one down to the 30. Tackle made there by Jabril Peppers.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down. It's a gain of 12, and the Packers have the first.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
After the run by Jones, here's 1st and 10. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And he gets this inside the 10 to the 9. It's also a gain of 9.
Good yardage there on first down. Exactly what you want. Get yourself set up to keep making first downs, keep the clock running. And if they're smart, you're starting to milk the clock. No hurry before you run your second down play.
On second down, it's Jones. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. Just a gain of a yard, but it's going to set him up with a 1st and goal.
Well, that was a unit that understood exactly where the first down marker was, handed it to their guy who could run it, created some space, and he got there.
They'll go again to Jones. And he'll work his way closer to the goal line as he's got 5 down to the 3.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. Was that 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive. And like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. They're able to get a couple here, but won't get across the plane as they stop him right around the 1.
Well, he did get a taste the previous week. He got into the end zone, trying his best to get there in this game. So far, he's been denied.
Now, they'd really like to make the short field pay off. We'll see if they can, but this is 3rd and goal. Jones is in. Touchdown, Packers. So the second down run didn't work. They run it again on 3rd down and get in. I wasn't sure if they might pass it, Charles. We know that they like to mix it up down here around the goal line.
Yeah, almost felt like the offensive line said, forget mixing it up. Let's call our favorite running play over our best blockers, and let's get this one in.
Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Pats at the line, ready to go. As the offense comes out here, Charles, maybe perhaps a bit more of a focus on the run game for this drive after tossing an interception on the previous one?
I think that's a good way to look at it and a good way to think about it, but maybe they get to it in a little bit different way, because after you throw an interception, you want to make sure you keep your quarterback's confidence high. So maybe give him a couple easy throws that he can complete, and then get to the running game and try and get things settled down.
Yeah, and still in the first half here, a long way to go. They'll run with Strong. Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down. Jake Bailey on now to punt here on 4th down. And last week in the loss, 5 punts as he gets this one away. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him, because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete, so the ball a little late getting there, and it's 3rd down.
A good job in coverage there. They took away his top read on the play, so he went through his progressions and ended up settling on his running back, who scored on their last possession, but the coverage held. It goes incomplete.
Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
That could be the stop this defense needed to get them back on track. They've been pretty well dissected by the offense here in the first half. After that possession, now they know that they can compete with this offense.
O'Donnell, he's on to punt as he gets this one away. Here's Jones. A very good return that time. 18 yards. And the Patriots take over. The Pats at the line, ready to go. And looking at this situation, Charles, you got more than a minute. You've got all 3 timeouts. Probably no need to play this safe.
So what you're saying is that we're doing a little bit of a mind meld here, aren't we? Because I'm thinking along the same lines as you. This amount of time, don't be compelled to play it too safe. This is a chance to get points on the board. Press it a little bit.
Yeah, especially since a touchdown here gets you the lead. A quick pass out to Aguilar. Yeah, he'll work free from 1 tackle, but that's about all as he's taken down. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. The Packers bringing in an extra member of the secondary here to try for the 3rd down stop. Looking to throw. Jones. He'll let this go deep for Bourne. Oh, that's into double coverage and intercepted. Picked off by Darnell Savage. He's at it again, Charles. He had the pick 6 last week. Not a pick 6 here, but an interception.
Hey, it's another Oski, because that's the word we use when we intercept a pass. Oski tells your team to rally around and block for you. Well, that worked really well last week because he had made it all the way to the end zone. This week, he got the Oski, maybe not a touchdown, but boy, he's playing.
And Rodgers intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Adrian Phillips. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line.
Certainly feels like the classic second guess, but let's be honest about it. They had a chance going into halftime with the lead. Why did they take a chance with a throw there? I don't understand that.
Well, that's what I'm wondering. And now this defense has to try to protect that lead going into the locker room. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. And this is caught. Touchdown, Patriots. Pierre Strong with his first career NFL touchdown. And the Patriots are an extra point away from moving out in front in the final minute of the half. On for the extra point is Folk. And this puts him on top by a penny. It's 14-13. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. About set to get this drive started, the Green Bay offense at the line. And with him trailing, there is still enough time to try to string a few plays together, maybe get into field goal range. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Throwing now is Rodgers. That is caught. It's the tight end, Tunyon. Now the offense will burn their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go before halftime.
2021 wasn't quite the 11-touchdown outburst that we saw from Robert Tunyon the year prior. A torn ACL cost him half his season, and the Packers still believe he can be the impact player he was 2 years ago after his rehab. Pretty impactful play on that one, and it will move the chains.
On 1st down, Rodgers. And that one will fall incomplete. Clock here now, just under 30 seconds to go in this first half.
And not a common sight, at least on this drive. A momentary setback, though, for this passing game that has been moving well this series. Good thing for them, though. Still 2 more downs to connect and try and pick up another 1st down.
Rodgers to throw once more. That ball caught by Slayton. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. Back-to-back plays of right around 30 yards, and the field position has totally been flipped.
A big game on its way brings up 2nd and goal to go.
Line of scrimmage, again the 4-yard line, 2nd and goal. And it's a Packers touchdown. Christian Watson in the final seconds of the first half. And the Packers have taken the lead here in the final stages of this first half. And again, it's no good. A few boo birds coming out as he's missed his 2nd extra point here in the first half. So 6 seconds, all that remains of this first half as the kick is away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Pats at the line, ready to go. And only 6 seconds on the clock, so time likely for just one play. Now Jones on 1st down. It's caught by Aguilar. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. So we're at halftime here at Lambeau with the Packers taking the lead to the break. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Pats at the line, ready to go.
But, Charles, we saw pretty entertaining first half, close ball game. Remember there toward the end of the second quarter, the opposition scored to take the lead. Now we'll see if these guys can get a score of their own to regain that lead.
Yeah, they want to have that type of a response, don't they? Because they want to find a way to take control of this ball game one more time. Gauntlet's been thrown down. They want to see if they're ready to answer it.
Buying time to his left. And he's going to go out of bounds. Gigantic loss. Kept retreating. Steps out. That goes down as a sack and a big loss of yardage.
The goal is certainly to try and make a big play happen and climb back into this game, but you have to be careful. If you overdo it, you could turn it over and hurt your team.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. Quay Walker in there to record the second sack of his young NFL career. So his first sack of the game, but CD, not his first of the season. He has shown an ability to get after the quarterback here early in his rookie year.
Yeah, and that just goes along with everything else we already knew about him. We knew his ability to tackle and to make plays behind the line of scrimmage. But any kind of pass rush you get almost seems like a bonus. I think they'll use him that way a lot more moving forward.
And they'll get him down here at the 23. That'll bring up 4th down. They wind up getting 8 yards, but they needed more than that. The Patriots send out their punter as he'll kick it away for the second time. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. So out of bounds on the punt, and the spot will be, the side judge says, right at the 35-yard line here. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And both of these defenses have been stifling these last few drives offensively. Just not able to get anything going, so what needs to change?
I think a lot of the guys will go back and review, so to speak, because everyone has someone assigned to how did each play work. Okay, what did we use that kind of worked for us during this game? Try and get back to some of those plays, as well as the possibility of showing something you haven't shown already in this game and trying to change things up.
We'll see if they take the advice of Mr. Davis.
Here's Jones again on second down.
Nowhere to go that time. He maybe got a yard up to the 40.
Back-to-back runs, I'd say that encompassed maximum effort for minimal gain.
Minimal yardage, and now they're going to need something more than minimal on this play coming up.
They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains.
Here's Rodgers to throw. Got a man, it's Tunyon. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. A very solid gain of 27.
And that's well executed there on 3rd down. And I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there for a 1st down.
A nice run there by Jones on 1st down as he'll wind up getting about 5, so 2nd and 5 coming up.
Brandon, 5 yards on that run. Let's get back to the huddle and make sure if you're a back, you spend time with your offensive line and give them credit. Hard to move those 300-plus pounders at the line of scrimmage, and they did for a significant chunk of yardage.
Up the middle, Jones. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone.
65 yards rushing for him now on 17 carries.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
Lambeau Field, one of the best home field advantages in the NFL, no doubt. And they're a happy bunch here as the Packers lead 3rd quarter. Jones running on 1st down, but finding it pretty tough going as he'll get forward for only about 3 there before he's taken down.
If you're looking for glory, looking to get your name in the headlines, you do not want to play nose tackle. But how about what we just saw there? The ability to hold people up, take on extra blocks, and actually slip them and make a tackle on that play. That's big time.
And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a third down.
Maybe I'm wrong, but it looked like even if he had opted to keep that, I don't think there was going to be much to gain.
Seemed like it was perfectly defense. And know what they say? Those guys on the other side, they get paid too.
On third down, here's Jones. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up fourth down.
They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL. And he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
So a nice kick there as they are able to add on to their lead.
And that's exactly what you're looking to do. Maneuver yourself into range. That way, if your drive stalls out, you're able to get something out of it. And they do so right there.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Pats at the line, ready to go.
These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete.
Well, defensively, they haven't let him just sit in the pocket and get comfortable. And that's opposite a lot of game plans in today's NFL. Ordinarily, you're trying to keep the quarterback hemmed in. In this case, they brought the heat, and if he flushes out, they're fine with that, and they force another incompletion.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Jones.
And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far.
Picked off by Jair Alexander. And he's able to take this one back to the 36-yard line. Boy, so another interception, CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his 2nd season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
3 quarters have come and gone. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Now Rodgers. Eluding the pressure right. And that one too far in front. He couldn't reel it in. It's incomplete.
It'd be interesting to see what he decides to do the next time he's in the position we just saw there. Outside of the pocket, takes a throw downfield and turns up incomplete. I wonder if next time he might take off and run.
They'll go with a touch pass here, trying to pick it up.
And a good tackle there right around the 30. Stops him short of the 1st down. So on now is the kicker, Josh Lambo. This to make it a 2-score game. And Lambo will put this one through, and that will extend their lead even further.
So that's, CD, an important one here in the 4th quarter.
And that importance cannot be overstated. All eyes on both sidelines were staring that one down all the way. The significance is that they made it a 2-score game. Still lots of time left to go, but likely that was their goal at the start of the drive. Get 3 points, make it a 2-score game, and they were able to get it done.
The Pats at the line, ready to go.
A tougher task for them now. That turnover on their last possession led to the field goal, meaning that they have to now try to erase a 2-score deficit here in the fourth. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Back to throw. Jones being chased out left. And he will go down outside of the pocket for a sack. Tried to get away, but could not. Devontae Wyatt brings him down, and that's a play he's going to remember. The first sack of his NFL career. Work now for Jones and the Patriots here after the sack. It's 3rd and long. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Adrian Amos with a pick. And the return will stop right around the 25. Well timed. Certainly not on their side offensively. They had to take some chances, but that interception will further hinder their already slim chance at victory.
Yeah, and you're talking about time not on their side, but it certainly is on the defense's side, and they understood that. They knew they had to press it a little bit, and they planned accordingly. And what a benefit for them, able to pick that one off and hopefully put this.
And intercepted, maybe the turning point they need.
Marcus Jones picks it.
And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
And the Pats are right back in this football game.
And a nice play there defensively. And this is a new acquisition, Charles. You and I were talking about it pregame. Just signed as a free agent earlier this week.
Love when they pick up those guys with something to prove, because any guy who's a free agent off the street, no one else wanted him. So he wants to prove to the rest of the league, you should have signed me first.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Tell you what, partner, after he ices down, he's going to need a nice long soak in a hot tub after this one. He's been under duress the entire game.
Yeah, once again, hit as he throws. Fortunate that one wound up incomplete. After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20.
On 2nd down, a run was strong.
And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped.
57 yards rushing for him now as he's run it 11 times.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Operating from the gun, Jones.
That's Bourne, got it on the slant.
And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled.
On 1st and 10, it's Strong.
And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line.
In need of only about the length of the football here on 2nd down.
Looking to throw. Jones.
And just not enough on the throw there. Down around his feet and incomplete. And we've talked about it, CD, but it bears repeating. They are struggling to throw the football. All the interceptions and more incompletions. It just doesn't look like things are in sync out there.
I would agree with that, and it's not a good day when you feel like an incomplete pass is almost a win for you because it wasn't intercepted. And I think the receivers now, when they're running their routes, they want to catch the ball, but they also want to make sure that the defenders don't take it away.
3rd down turns to 1st with that 5-yard pickup. The job one to pick up the 1st down is complete. That was a big 3rd down conversion, but they got to watch the clock. It's starting to become their enemy a bit here in a 2-score game.
Which means they have to pick up the pace, right? The tempo has to be upped, and what they do is they tell the quarterback in his helmet, hey, listen, when we pick up the 1st down here, tell everyone we're going. We're moving now to 2-minute offensive phase, and everyone on the bench area, they're waving them along too. Let's go, let's go, let's go.
Here's Jones throwing on 1st down.
And this is incomplete. Oh, he had 6 points right in his hands, but could not hang on.
When you're leading in the final quarter, your radar has to be up for any potential deep shots. And probably not the last one they're going to see in this game, not as long as they hold this lead.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Jones, and his throw here is incomplete.
And now offensively it's 3rd and 10, and I'm just thinking to myself, after
actors always say, what's my motivation before a big scene? Right now, the play caller's thinking, what have I done before that's worked well that I can go to right now?
Yeah, because they were pretty successful in the first half scoring points. Haven't done anything so far here in the second half. And he's not going to sniff the first down here. He stopped at the 25. Now the Patriots going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the fourth quarter. Folk's kick is good, and that'll make this an 8-point game. All right, so they needed 2 scores to get back in the game. The field goal there, maybe not exactly what they wanted, but the necessary first step.
There's still time remaining, and there's enough time to get it done. They've got to get it the least a 3-and-out here to get the ball back, preferably a takeaway.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. About set to get this drive started, the Green Bay offense at the line. Their lead back down to 1 score after the field goal a moment ago, so they'll be looking to string together a few first downs, likely on the ground as they begin 1st and 10. Decent start defensively to this series. They've got to stop them here and get this ball back.
I like the way you phrase that, partner. Decent start, but now it's got to be more about the ball. It's all about the ball, getting it away from them, because making good tackles is one thing, but the clock will run out on you. You've got to have the football back for your offense.
So the completion results there in 9 yards, and that'll leave it with a 3rd and 2. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. 4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. So it's Packer football here as we welcome you back. Now, this is a big 3rd down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop them here. They'll try and run for it with Jones. Well, they hit him in the backfield, and he will not escape. And that is not going to get it done. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. Here's Pat O'Donnell now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. He gets us away. It's a good one, drawing toward the sidelines. And this will be out of bounds, and they spot it at the 15-yard line. Not too bad. The Pats at the line, ready to go. And after the field goal last time, let's see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I've never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base.
It's caught inside the 25. A big play there for New England. 69 yards. 1st and goal. A touchdown and a 2-point conversion here are musts. Jones escaping the pressure right. And he's just going to throw this one out of bounds here. Nowhere to go with it. Incomplete.
Ooh, that's certainly not the worst thing. It stops the clock and lets your offense catch its breath and lets us exhale a little bit. Now I expect them to call a couple plays in the huddle, so they're ready if a tackle happens inbounds.
They'll run out of the gun here with Strong. And he's into the end zone. No flags. It's a touchdown. And now a 2-point conversion. And we'll be tied here in the final minute.
Do they have one big call left? Here we go.
Jones. And it's caught. And with it, we are tied here in the 4th.
huge conversion there to tie this thing up, but they're not done yet. Their defense needs to get a stop.
Yeah, there's still plenty of time for the other team to come downfield and put some points on the board, but job one was taken care of. The 2-point conversion to get this thing tied.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway.
Well, partner, here it is. They've got the chance to win the game. You'd have to think they need to get it near the opposite 40 to have a chance to kick a game-winning field goal. We'll see what they can do.
And you're right about that, because if we look at it in macro, that's what it looks like. But I think in micro, the head coach has already asked the special teams coach, what is he feeling? What does he think? Where does he want the football? What's the yard line we have to get? And he's already relayed that to his quarterback and his offense. They know what the goal is. Now the key, can they get there?
And he'll go out of bounds, it looks like, right at the 40. 6 yards to pick up, and that's a first down.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon. It looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time, they pick up a first down. So now on defense, do you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going?
Forced out to his left. Now he'll throw deep left side. He's got a man, complete. And down to the 20 he'll go before heading out of bounds. A gain of 39 that time.
We see this happen so often. If you're a defender, it's like watching a bad movie over and over. The pressure's good, forcing the quarterback out of the pocket. But it's a lot to ask for these defenders to stay plastered to receivers long enough. And sure enough, they let a man come open, and the connection leads to a big play.
Rodgers to throw.
He'll get that one to Carter, complete. And they're going to get this down to about the 17-yard line here.
Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they stop it with 22 ticks to go in the fourth.
So from the 17, here's 2nd and 7.
An inside give to Jones. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6. Now the timeout will be called, so they're in field goal range with 3 seconds left. So now the onus will fall on the shoulders of Josh Lambo. Footing obviously an issue in the driving rain. This one for the win. And his kick is good. And there'll be some happy cheeseheads tonight as the Packers have won the game.
So it's all over. A Green Bay victory. Well, Charles, when you look at the stat sheet, ultimately one thing sticks out like a sore thumb. One side lost this game because they turned the ball over 4 times, and that was just too much for them to overcome.
And that number might as well be in neon, because you're exactly right. It just jumps up from the stat sheet. Your eyes go right to it. And with that many turnovers, they really played themselves out of this game. Too careless with the football too many times. That cost them the victory.
So for the Packers, that early momentum continues here as they move to 4-0. And they'll have another home date next week as the New York Giants come to town. Meanwhile, for the Patriots, they'll sink now to 0-4. And they'll get a home date next week against the Detroit Lions.
If God for me, who could be against me? I guess all of that's against me. They the ones stirring up the conflict. They try to make it out like I'm conflicted. East Coast, the 6'4's hitting switch. It's not a conflict of interest.
Cut it with the business. West Coast rocking them Timberlands, deep up in them trenches. It's no difference. Neither one play games when swinging for them fences. We want the finer things that's expensive. That hit them either close range or at a distance. If God for me, why bother? I got my game from the Godfather. Top of the food chain, rock bottom. And handle my business when it was my problem. Jeep. Flossing with a gold chain. I got my Turkish rope with matching gold things. Bomber jacket in the winter, it's a cold game. I met some East Coast up and spoke.
If God for me, who could be against me? I guess all of that's against. God for me, who could be against me? I guess all of that's against me. They the ones stirring up the conflict. They try to make it out like I'm conflicted. East Coast, the 6'4's hitting switch. It's not a conflict of interest.
Cut it with the business. West Coast rocking them Timberlands, deep up in them trenches. It's no difference. Neither one play games when swinging for them fences. We want the finer things that's expensive. That hit them either close range or at a distance. If God for me, why bother? I got my game from the Godfather. Top of the food chain, rock bottom. And handle my business when it was my problem. Jeep. Flossing with a gold chain. I got my Turkish rope with matching gold things. Bomber jacket in the winter, it's a cold game. I met some East Coast up in Spokane. Some of the realest in this dope game. I got my curly top looking like special ed. Clean fade on the side, bumping that red head. Clean tags when I ride, ducking the feds. East Coast, they get that bread. You you end up dead. Them West Coast, they leave that spray. And now you got calling your dread hate.
If God for me, who could be against me? I guess all of that's against me. They the ones stirring up the conflict. They try to make it out like I'm conflicted.
Still trying to the riches.
East Coast, the 6'4's hitting switch. It's not a conflict of interest.
Cut it with the business. West Coast rocking them Timberlands, deep up in the trenches. It's no difference. 4th and inches. I'm finna hit a lick and handle business. I got her down, she real vicious. Rock-a-bye, baby, no witness. This is not even a conflict. You on nonsense. Got the same way in Brooklyn and Compton. But with that gang, then make a profit. On top, stay poppin'. Look. See, I was the high school slick Rick, I was styling. Fat gold chain with an African medallion. Hip-hop connoisseur and rolling 20 gripping. Rap game real tight, freestyle was magnificent. All about the clout and all about my dividends. Them older couldn't tell me different. I need a round-away girl to live with. Showtime at the Apollo. I'm about to bottle. Take 2 and pour out a little for my who won't live to see tomorrow.
If God for me, who could be against me? I guess all of that's against me. They the ones stirring up the conflict. They try to make it out like I'm conflicted. If God for me, who could be against me? I guess all of that's against me. They the ones stirring up the conflict. They try to make it out like I'm conflicted. East Coast, the 6'4's hitting switch. It's not a conflict of interest.
Cut it with the business. West Coast rocking them Timberlands, deep up in them trenches. It's no difference. Neither one play games when swinging for them fences. We want the finer things that's expensive. That hit them either close range or at a distance. If God for me, why bother? I got my game from the Godfather. top of the food chain, rock bottom. And handle my business when it was my problem. Jeep. Flossing with a gold chain. I got my Turkish rope with matching gold things. Bomber jacket in the winter, it's a cold game. I met some East Coast up in Spokane. Some of the realest in this dope game. I got my curly top looking like special ed. Clean fade on the side, bumping that red head. Clean tags when I ride, ducking the feds. East Coast, they get that bread. You you end up dead. Them West Coast, they leave that spray. And now you got all in your dread head.
If God for me, who could be against me? I guess all of that's against me. They the ones stirring up the conflict. They try to make it out like I'm conflicted.
Still trying to the riches.
East Coast, the 6'4's hitting switch. It's not a conflict of interest.
Cut it with the business.